Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Funday. So my brain's a little fried. I was in the garden all day today. So I'm like, I feel slow. Like, oh my God, I can't think. But, well, we'll manage through. The brain will start ticking sooner or later. So welcome in, everybody. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. And even if you don't have a child, a lot of times you're a pet owner too. So you are a mother. So happy Mother's Day. Hope you had a great day. So today we have Richie Ramsey from Baker's Creek or Rare Seeds. I'm super excited. We're going to talk about all the other stuff besides tomatoes and peppers in the catalog. Last time, it was, whoa, like, how can somebody know so much and like just talking like that? Bam, bam, bam. And Richie's back. So I'm so glad to have him. And 8:20, we're talking about Blackstone's Saturday. What is Blackstone? Well, Blackstone's that large grill, right? And we're going to have King Poobah, Arsenic Element, and Operation Capsaicin talking about their new series called Blackstone Saturday. And at 8:40, we have Granny D's here, and Daigo Crochet, and they're coming on at 8:40. Also, membership start at 99 cents. We have something new. If you are a Joseph's Journey member, you automatically win that prize. You don't have to be in the chat. You automatically win that prize. So that's something new for if you are a Joseph's Journey member. Everybody else has to be in the chat. If you are new here, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. And thank you, everyone, for coming here. So my co-host for the night is Andale Homestead. And here's Andale. So what was your day like today?
Well, I was very spoiled today. My husband took care of everything, cooking the breakfast and fixing my coffee and all of those wonderful things. I have my daughter and son-in-law and two grandchildren here, and my son and his child came yesterday. So it's been a full weekend of wonderful.
It's a weekend of love.
That's right. Full weekend of wonderful. Hey, the Stock Explorer.
So yeah, it's gonna be an amazing live. And it's Richie Ramsey from Baker's Creek. Isn't that it's like exciting?
Yes, I'm so excited. I know. I read it. I said, I'm surprised you can still see the pictures in the catalog because I look at it so often. It's my favorite reading.
I mean, I can't wait to buy that. I bought that catalog a couple dollars off before it goes on sale.
You do?
So yeah, and I'm like, okay, I can't wait to buy it. So I buy it in like, I don't know, October, somewhere's around there, goes on sale. And I'm like, oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait to get it. Can't wait to get it. It's like when the first seeds go on sale, you're like, yeah, let's go.
That's so wonderful.
Okay, well, we're going to welcome in Richie Ramsey.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Thank you guys for having me and everybody else, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there and future mothers.
So it's wonderful to meet you, Richie.
Thank you. Nice meeting you too, Anne.
So Richie, tell everybody like a little bio of yourself. Like, when did you start growing seeds? Because there's new people in the chat and they probably didn't go watch this last time. Just a little quick bio. When did you start, and where do you live, and what do you plan to do?
Sure. So I live in Jamaica, and that's where I farm as well. I farmed quite a few different parishes, or that's like how you guys would refer to states all over the island, and it's a very varied microclimate. There's mountains and valleys, hot basins, more desert type areas, swamplands, and beachfront, of course, and just lots of different climates. Lots of places are very hot, high 90s most of the year, but we do go up quite high in elevation. So in many places it stays around 50 all year. So it's a more conducive climate for certain crop types, strawberries, coffee, that type of thing. I've been farming, for most of my life and stuff, but I started working for Baker Creek around 2016, 2017. I was a customer for a few years, and through some, I went up and volunteered for a little bit, and we kind of built a really great relationship and did a few talks for them. And joined the team to help them with a tropical greenhouse. And after that was all done with, and I went back home, I just stayed on working a lot of social media for them, writing descriptions, answering tropical horticultural questions, that type of thing. And I would say about 2018 or so, I began growing seeds for them. And that started with just the Jamaican varieties, mostly Scotch bonnet and West Indies red. But since then, we've added a few varieties, and usually there's a new set of varieties each year apart from those Jamaican varieties. And this year we're doing Pink Beauty Amaranth, Loofah Gourds, and Carolina Peach Reapers. We're also doing a few projects to try to add. There's one nice variety, Jamaican green sorrel, which is known as white sorrel or white roselle for you guys. And that's a pretty rare variety that we did manage to get a hold of. So we're also trying to add that into our trial program as well as seed production. So a lot of fun little things going on. We're also trialing some Jamaican varieties. We're trialing a herb that's known as Medina locally. It's a really, really good, just all around herb and lots of current research going into it medical wise, and is, a big part of Jamaican folk medicine, you could say. So we don't really have plans at the moment to add that variety, but we're just trialing it and seeing what can come of it. And that's mostly the overview of what I do for Baker Creek and what Baker Creek does in Jamaica and that type of thing.
I got something in the mail and I forgot. I think it was Mizuna. It comes from a leaf, and you guys have it like in powder now. Is that that right, Mizuna?
Yeah.
And so it has like, you got to see all the antioxidants in this. It's like, oh my God, it's like, I got to get this. I got to get seeds and try to grow this.
And there are many varieties like that. Even a lot of the common crops and stuff that we do offer, they're packed with lots of different nutrients and vitamins, and oftentimes they're called superfoods for the benefits they have. And many people think that's just a tagline, and I'm sure it can be used as such, but we try to convey and use it in such a way. All food is good generally, natural, healthy food, but some varieties just have more of what you really need to boost your body more than others. And a lot of it are common for Mizuna. That's like in Asia, that would be almost as common as lettuce, So.
Do you guys plan to sell those like more powders and stuff like that?
Well, we have an attached to our seed store, what we kind of call like an apothecary or a herb store. So we have always been trying to expand a lot more, and we do offer lots of different some of them are not even online, but if you do get a chance to visit our seed store, lots of different natural soaps and stuff, and many times they are not necessarily produced by us. It's our neighbors and other growers and farmers that we come into contact with, and they have a really good product that we like. Some of our staff or the owner's family or stuff might use it, and we really like the product. And it's not even so much, it's not like a favor thing. Oh, we're going to offer them a favor to support them. It's just that we kind of embrace these products and just want to offer it to everyone else too, those who do want it. So we're always expanding and adding new finished products and third-party products and stuff like that. But it's done very slowly because it's more of an organic means of them being added. We're not actively searching to add this or that. It's just if the circumstances and their goals and their products align with our goals and our products and stuff, and we try to support the local community and any community that we can as much as we can.
If anybody has questions in the chat, we save them all the way to the end. So around 8:00, it'll be an open. And if you have questions, just put them in caps. But at 8:00, so it's so much easier that way. So we could concentrate on our host and the guest, and
yes.
it's a lot more of a focus. So just save the questions all the way to the end. So how is the Scotch bonnets going and the West Indies red, and how are those plants grown?
For sure, the seed production is all going really well. Not perfectly. We are having some problems with things like the pink beauty amaranth. We're having a lot of problems with cabbage beetles and flea beetles, which is kind of to be expected. We don't have a winter, so we have really high pest pressure of those soft-bodied, like really damaging pests. You have to get rid of them yourselves. There is no winter to help you do it or that type of thing. But for the most part, hot peppers are kind of hassle-free here. So we don't really have much problems with hot peppers. And for us, they are short-lived perennials. So we really only replant these fields every 3 years or so. So after we do plant them, that first 2 to 3 years, it's really just weeding, watering, and feeding. And we do have to use some preventative fungicides from time to time, mostly neem-based. And that's mostly just for powdery mildew when it's very rainy. But pest pressure is very low on hot peppers. They're very they can be used, the hot peppers themselves, to help repel and kill most soft-bodied insects, and even some hard-bodied ones as well. Even mammals, it does help to keep those away. It's really just not effective for birds. So there is just a lot going on with the peppers themselves that make them naturally resistant to pests. And in Jamaica, on a whole, the type of pests that we have, they are very resistant. So it's really just fungal issues, and some preventative spraying of neem-based products generally takes care of that. So the peppers are all really easy. The loofah gourds so far have been really easy. They're loving the heat. They're doing really well. And amaranth has been a bit of a pest magnet for us, though.
Imagine that, and imagine all those bugs and stuff. I mean, New Jersey, at least they disappear for a little bit. Well, maybe not this year. This year, we didn't even have snow once. So
Yeah, we didn't either. Yeah, and North Carolina. Well, what was curious to me is you're saying that you worked in several different provinces in Jamaica, and that there are some areas that stay in their 50s, 50
Right.
degrees. I would have never thought that.
Right.
That,
And we, even when we hear it, it's something different when you go up there and experience it. And actually,
right.
the elevation, the highest point goes up to 7,500 feet or a little bit above that. And that mountain range takes up quite a bit of the island. So it starts very much from the coastline in most places. So there's lots of plateaus. So there are lots of communities and farmers and villages up there at those elevations. And coffee is a big thing, and coffee generally does better at higher elevations. So there's a lot of farms up there, and monocropping is a thing, but generally most small farmers do plant different varieties and companion plant and that type of thing. So you do see a lot of other crops up there, not just the main one, which is coffee. Another really big one is strawberries, which the island, you can get strawberries, but they're all really small, and it's just not reliable. Whereas up there at those elevations, it's just a really easy crop to grow. And there are some things that won't do as well. Hot peppers generally just won't do as well up there. They love it warm. Certain crops like sweet peppers and stuff, but for things like broccoli, lettuce, leafy greens, brassicas, they all excel up there.
Okay. Well, excuse me,
Sure.
Coach, do you mind if I ask another?
Go for it. That's right.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'm just so intrigued, and I'm so thrilled to have been able to meet you in person. But of having all these different levels, as a gardener, I'm thinking, okay, it gets like 50 degrees in Jamaica. I can fix that with a greenhouse and a heater. I can still grow some warm weather crops occasionally. But in the other regions of Jamaica that stay really hot all the time, I can't make it cold that I know of.
There are quite a few methods. So
are there?
A lot of times, so we generally don't have greenhouses up at that elevation, it's just not needed. And what we would call a greenhouse here is a little bit different from what you guys would have as a greenhouse there. We do generally a lot of times use plastic roofs, plastic sheeting on top, but the outside is usually a thing called viral mesh, which is just really tightly knitted fabric that looks like so small that pollen and pests can't get through, or cloth itself. So the main purpose of the greenhouse is to cool rather than to heat up. So,
Oh,
so ventilation's big, and a lot of people do use completely open greenhouses, open-sided greenhouses with shade cloth on top. So you guys would probably consider that a shade house, but we consider our seed starting area shade houses, which is made of like really thick, 80%. And greenhouses are just buildings that have some form of covering that help to keep the sun off, as well as ventilation, that type of thing, retain moisture.
okay. Because
And row covers are a big thing, mulching, drip irrigation works really well.
okay, okay. Because in North Carolina, we do have 4 seasons. We have spring, summer, fall, and winter.
Right.
And so we have an opportunity of being able to plant cool weather crops at certain times of the year because we'll have the weather that's
Mhm.
better for them. But I would just think that in the hot, you might not be able to grow a whole lot of lettuce or, cabbage or collard greens, something like that. But in the cooler areas up in the higher elevation, maybe so.
Right. And even areas are just too hot for it. It's not at all. But many areas are in the mid-range where we'll have a couple months during the winter where temperatures are more like 70s, low 80s, where that's when a lot of people grow things like broccoli, lettuce, brassicas, and stuff.
Okay.
And like I said too, you'll even in the hotter areas you will find even just field coverings, just fields covered with shade cloth and drip irrigation where people are growing the same type of things and just keeping it all cool. And
Thank
lots of heat resistance as well. There are lots of just like how you guys have state universities, we have different agricultural colleges on even different islands. For example, the West Indies red variety that Baker Creek offers was actually a collaboration between the Trinidad and Tobago, their agricultural agency, as well as our. So there is a lot of collaboration between islands and their different universities and teams that do breeding. So we do have lots of varieties that are even, lettuces, sweet peppers that are more resistant to heat than other varieties. It's all about, in any area you go, people will grow food and they'll have seeds that suit that area.
That's fabulous. That's so wonderful.
See, and you got to remember they had the Jamaican bobsled team, right?
I do. I remember that. And we all laughed for a little while, but they were good.
Yep, considering they never got any snow practice, that's pretty good.
That movie was great.
It was fabulous. I gave them an A for effort. That's for sure.
Now, Richie, you let me. I'm going to show you the slide that you showed me.
Sure.
I'm going to put that up, and
so let me just run it from the beginning. So we just have the Sunday Funday, and I didn't really have any produce for this show to show you guys like I did from the last show with me. So I just wanted to give you a couple pictures, just something to talk about in the meantime. We can just go as well if you guys want. In our top left, that's just a picture of the type of soil that we're working with at our current location. Very clay, but also it was an orange farm for maybe a few decades ago, and since then it's just been fallow and lots of trees, lots of mulch falling. So we do have a lot of natural fungi and mycorrhiza that does help with things like water retention. One of the ways it does that, if you look at the picture, you can see it's like filaments working its way through the soil off of organic matter and roots and stuff, and that helps to create air pockets, which helps to aerate the soil, get water in there, get oxygen in there, and keep everything going so it doesn't muddy and bog down, which is kind of an issue for us at some times when it's too wet as very clay soil. Um, this is just a picture of our little gate that we made, just something to try to bring more of Baker Creek to Jamaica. And we have some spoon tomatoes in the top right there, which was one of the first varieties to produce for us. And below that, the variety known as Jamaican green sorrel. But for you, we know it as Jamaican green sorrel, but you guys would probably be more familiar with it as white roselle, which sorrel and roselle are interchangeable words in this scenario, but sometimes can be used for different varieties depending on where you are and who you're speaking to, like Doc, which is also known as sorrel. And to the left of that, that's black strawberry tomatoes, which was, in our opinion, one of the most beautiful varieties we had this year. And beside that is just some quick pictures of produce and harvest days from the farm, peppers and tomatoes, that type of thing. We have taken the tomatoes out now due to the heat and lack of water and that type of thing. And we're replacing them with melons, cantaloupes, and watermelons. And we are also moving on to some flower trials, but we are still leaving our our hot peppers and sweet peppers in, which are going strong. Um, we do plan to continue rotating throughout the year, adding new crops, getting rid of some of the ones that aren't doing so well or might not that time of the year. And at the same time, we are also looking to expand the project a bit from 2 acres, maybe all the way up to 10 acres. And one of the areas we want to do that in is Portland, which is a really nice parish, lots of rainfall, lots of farming going on there already. And this is the agricultural college in Portland. There were varieties, great varieties that have benefited Jamaican farmers, and even, like I said, you guys there, West Indies Red. This is one of the campuses that it was bred on, and it was really bred as a replacement for the Scotch bonnet, so that it could compete a bit more on the global market in terms of just yield and how little water and care it needs compared to Scotch bonnet, which is a pretty good yielder, but behaves more like a super hot, so not as great a yield as more production chili peppers and that type of thing. So it's a really nice campus. They have a lot going on. They focus a lot on animal, but they also do hydroponics, greenhouses, and like I said, plant breeding. Very old campus as well. So I just wanted to kind of put this up here to kind of give everybody an idea of where we're expanding the project to and the type of resources and stuff that we'll have at our disposal, as well as just give you guys a feel for Jamaica here. Very green, lots of plants. You can see some bananas over there by the telephone pole and coconut trees. And that big tree is a pimento tree, which can be used as a seasoning, little pimento berries that are dried down. And it's also tree on a whole, and the wood itself is very fragrant, great for cooking, and leaves are usable too. So that's kind of a lot of what the flora and fauna in Jamaica is. A lot of it is edible varieties and trees and we call it endemic varieties. So varieties that came here either by accident or through humans carrying them over, but have turned out to be pretty resilient varieties that they naturally reproduce and add to the landscape. So a lot of different plants, we don't consider them invasive, but rather endemic. Even these palms on your right here, these are edible too. The centers of them, which is a lot of people in this area, this parish, just refer to it as cabbage, because the centers themselves break up like little strips of cut cabbage when cooked, and it does have flavor if you think hard about it, but also a coconutty, not coconutty, but a nutty sweet flavor. And a lot of the campuses use different fields are areas, as well as, like I said, a lot of animal husbandry, goats, cows, chickens, pigs, that type of thing, which is really big in the area. There are some of their greenhouses. That's a type of greenhouse you can see. That's all just viral mesh. So it
Okay.
acts like a shade cloth, but at the same time helps with things like cross pollination, even can help prevent viruses and many different things. And the campus is right on the seaside, but you're not really able to access it so easily. And we were just allowed in for a quick drive around and video for this purpose, as we didn't have an appointment with them on that day. So it's really just to give you guys a quick overview of what's happening and what we want, the where we would like to expand the project to, and the benefits we can have. Where we are right now is pretty dry, so I mean you can see here all that's just from rainfall, and right now they are in what's considered a pretty bad drought for them. So we're excited about moving there as well.
That's awesome. Well, I have another question. And
Sure.
for the people that are naturally, natively from that area, I mean,
Right.
like for instance, I am a fairly new gardener. This is just my fourth year of gardening. My husband has been in the farming and gardening for a very long time, but I don't have the knowledge that a lot of people like Joe or other people that are here that have been gardening for decades. Every
Yeah.
year, every new season is a new experiment for me. But I have learned a lot about things that are growing in my yard that I can use for medicine and that are natural to the yard, medicine and food and so forth. So are the locals, do they just learn from their elders, from their families, or is it well known among the culture that they can eat the middle of the palm trees, they can
Right.
use the berries and the bark from the other trees?
Well, it's there's sorry, guys, there's not much structure to it. It's not like there's a formal elder or something like that, generally, but generally, yes, that is the gist. You do learn these things from older people in your community or that you may come across, and a lot
Okay.
of it is specific to the area. Like a lot of the palm eating and stuff, that's this area, Portland. They're more well known, but coming from other parishes, that's something that I knew certain varieties of palms are edible, and in Asian countries they do that. But I had no idea that was such a common thing in that part of Jamaica as well. So I
Okay.
mean, you learn something new each day, and every area and parish and town and stuff has its own little quirks about it. And while many of it is well known, which we spoke about, that's just something that's known internationally, not just in Jamaica.
Sure.
But there are some more obscure edible things that are really only known in certain areas. I can't really explain that one for nuances to it, but it's very varied. The culture is recognizable everywhere, but there are nuances, especially when it comes to food and farming, that's different in each area. It's like even farming, how people farm here in Portland, it would be completely alien to people in another parish known as St. Elizabeth, which is really just a dry basin. It has a lot
Okay.
of nutrition in the soil, but it just does not get much water. So they do a lot of what you guys would call dryland farming.
Okay. And Baker's Creek is just beginning to, not just beginning, but they are opening the door to apothecary and herbs, as I say herbs and you say herbs, which is great. We
Yeah.
get teased a lot for that. Um,
Well, potato, potato, as long as we all understand what we're talking about.
that's right. That's right. I have cracked the door of herbs this much, and there is a whole world out there
For
that I'm
sure.
really looking forward to learning. And
For sure.
so Baker's Creek is doing the same. They've opened their door,
Right.
and then they're going to be expanding even more, correct?
Right. Like I said, it's not like a company mandate, but there's no way we can. We will always be encountering new people doing exciting stuff with herbs and other plants, and we we will include them if possible. You know,
Awesome. Okay, thank you.
for sure. And yeah, we, Jerry himself, all of us as employees, we learn new stuff about all different varieties almost every day. But herbs for sure, we know we're always learning new ways they can be used, and a lot of the times, a lot of the recipes and stuff that you do see us share, they're brought to our attention by someone from that area, or somebody found an old book, and we do try to have chefs from different parts of the country that can help us out, different parts of the world. But it's a lot of it is not. It's not recipes that we made or had a hand in. It's just
For sure.
what we I wouldn't say found, but just come across. We there's when it comes to even us, we carry, like I said, we carry around 2,000 varieties we keep in rotation, but that is it's nothing compared to what's actually out there. Well, one of the hardest things for us each year is choosing what to carry. What can we fit? What can we manage to do? And there's always varieties that we love to carry, but are just unable to at that time, and we hope to carry those in the future too.
It's amazing.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the catalog.
Sure.
And-
I'm sorry, Joe. I'm just having my own
no,
chat here. I'm
yeah,
having a great time.
you have a question? Go for it.
Okay.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm smiling like
Okay, good.
I can't smile so any higher. or
Well,
whatever.
he's here and he has something that I want as far as all this information. And my mama always said, someone that has something you want, go for it. And so that's what I'm just so thrilled. And thank you again. So
No worries.
Keep
I'm
on going
happy.
for it.
Whatever I can with you guys, whatever you guys want to know, just feel
Thank
free to ask. And like Joe said, any of your questions that everyone else in the audience has, we'll definitely try to get to those as soon as possible too.
yeah, I am having fun, honey.
So let's talk about some of the stuff on the front page.
Sure.
So these are some of your new varieties. Some of
Mhm.
them are. I mean, I'm fascinated by this because I don't know if I could grow half of this, but maybe I can. You never know. That's the reason
Yeah.
why you got to learn about it. Let's go look. Let's look at the passion fruit.
And that's a really great variety there. I have some growing in my backyard right now, and that's one of the things that amazed me about this passion fruit. If you scroll down a bit, you'll see the zones that it's recommended in, I believe.
Where's the zone?
That should be a little bit up, right below the actual description, right above the pricing there. I guess there are.
Because it's outside the U.S.
Right. Yeah. We can't ship live plants outside the U.S. at all. But also, they do. I do believe they're hardy down to zone 7 or 8, which was interesting for me, as I know passion fruit as a tropical plant. So, but I've also never seen a purple variety. So it's pretty. It's enlightening for me, something that you've grown up with all your life and not knowing there's other varieties of it out there. And even from realizing further that there are more than, there's more than just the purple variety. There are different cultivars and different varieties that have been adapted to different parts of the world. So a lot of that happens. You'll have different cultivars of the same variety where over time, it will eventually just become its own variety, but many times it's considered a cultivar because it's similar or almost identical genetically, but there might just be a little nuance to the shade or color of it, which is very interesting as well.
So how do you know it's ready to eat?
So it will actually, that final purple color that you see there, a lot of them will turn that color. They will turn that color if left that way, but they can be eaten while green too, but they'll be sweetest while purple. And the way to tell that you would consider fit, which means it can be eaten, would be when it has a little bit of give to it, kind of similar to a tomato. It won't squish like a tomato, but it will flex like a ball. When it's still not ready, it's still pretty hard. That's the best way to tell. I'm sure there are a little bit other nuances and countries where they do grow a lot more, like South American countries in that area. They probably have their ways of telling too, but that's how we tell here. And ours generally just is a yellow variety. So green, can still be used, but it needs a little bit of give. And then yellow is when it's fully ripe and then sweet.
Let's see what so they sell plants at Baker's Creek too, or rare seeds. So just to let you guys know. So
And in previous years, we have only offered live plants in spring, generally around March to March, April, sometimes June, if supplies last. But we recently did a lot of expansion and put in our own greenhouses, and I've been doing a lot of the plant starts ourselves instead of having different farmers and growers do them for us. So we have been able to extend the season pretty long, and even through winter we do grow some varieties, but a lot of times space and labor limitations on how much greenhouses we have that can maintain the temperature needed will prevent us from actually stocking or selling those varieties. But as of right, generally in previous years, we'd be completely out of live plants now. We expect these to last well into the summer, which is pretty cool, I think. With them becoming less seasonal and more available.
So that's the size they come in. If you guys have
Correct.
seen the ruler, so
Okay. That's
And
wonderful.
if you ever do make it out to any of our festivals, for anyone in the audience there, a lot of times we'll have varieties of plants that we haven't been able to offer yet, or don't plan to offer this year, or even plants that are just larger or more mature than what's available online. So that's always really cool coming out to our festivals. I think you can see a lot of the things that some of the things that we're not able to offer online, or even really offer at all throughout the year. But when a festival comes around and it's possible, we try to share what we can out there.
That's wonderful. And so when you have a festival, you normally have a presence there, meaning you have a booth or something.
Yeah.
But is it possible if I find myself traveling to Jamaica to be able to come and say hi and visit
For
the
sure.
area?
For sure. If anybody at this moment in time, we really haven't gotten that far into our project here, but anyone who does want to visit, we've connected with a few volunteers and a few visitors who are already here locally through them just emailing us and asking about the project. We are definitely open to that, and we hope later this year to be able to start really getting the drive out there and the information out there on how to go about that directly. But for right now, if you send us an email asking anything about the project, letting us know just what you want to do, or if you'd like to see it, anything like that, we are here and ready and willing.
That's awesome.
So turmeric. Now, see, the older I get, when you have less inflammation in your body, the better you feel.
Right.
And so one of the things I want to start getting into is looking for most of my diet, or a lot of my diet. Look at me, I'm huge. To be to help with inflammation. So with turmeric, that's one of your better plants that would do something.
For sure. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Talk about turmeric a little bit.
For sure. A very beneficial plant. A healthy plant helps to add to your diet, and even if you're not an unhealthy person, it's a great seasoning. It's a great additive to many different dishes that add a lot of flavor to it, and it's kind of just a win-win-win. That's what a lot of the plants that we have are like. That they taste good. They add great flavor to dishes. They're great by themselves. A lot of them. This I wouldn't recommend eating. Unless you, for medical reasons, turmeric tea. That's even not for non-medical. Just a tea made from turmeric is also really delicious. But just biting into a chunk of turmeric is not so delicious. But if you have a reason to, why not? And we, just to be clear, we try not to get too much into the medicinal specifics of plants. If it's known to be medicinal, we do try to say it and try to say what it's for. But we also, that's not our expertise. We don't do a lot of. We'll share any articles we come across, any tests, any scientific studies, but that's just not something we do ourselves. but we do try, like if you can see in the description there, we do try to emphasize, it's known for this or that, but we can.
Allegedly. Yeah, allegedly it
I,
works.
I would even say allegedly, because a lot of it, there's evidence for it. It's just it's we haven't compiled we haven't compiled that evidence or have it all backed up or something. So
There you go.
we don't make any false. So we try not to make any false claims or questionable claims. But yeah, it's great for. With that being said, great for lowering blood pressure and people with hypertension, that type of thing. It's a very useful, beneficial, and medicinal plant for sure.
Yes. Yes. I need a lot more turmeric in my life. I really, really do.
One of
A
the
lot.
cool things you can do is our search bar is really intuitive. Like if you were to type in inflammation in that search bar, it'll pop up with a lot of the plants that we do have that are allegedly said to help with that condition.
Ah,
Um, you can type in many different things into the search bar: a location, an area, a climate, a benefit. If you can a color, and it will pull up those varieties for you.
wow.
And you can even search within a category. You can type in a red pepper or something like that, and it'll not everything is on there, obviously, but the search function is very built out and very intuitive. So when in doubt, just feel free to put it in the search bar.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
that is
awesome.
really cool. Just type it in blue. I know somebody that's fascinated by the color blue.
Right.
Everything they want is blue.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
That's
Blue.
fantastic.
I mean, especially for flowers. It's like
Right.
And you can type that in too. I mean, you could type in blue flowers, or you could type in blue corn or blue vegetables, blue herbs, whatever.
That's right.
Well, that one doesn't pull up anything. Don't make it fire over me, but like it's it's
Blue
uh it's
vegetables.
it's pretty intuitive.
The coach would find the one thing that doesn't have any categories in there. That's okay. That's all right. Um,
Now let's talk
yeah.
about basil. Let's
For
go
sure.
over to some varieties of basil.
And that's one of the pretty shocking things for me too when I first found Baker Creek's page, was how many different varieties of basil there were, and the different flavors that exist, and just the wide smelling and tasting one variety between another. Sometimes you'd swear it was a completely different plant, not even of the same species. So basil is a very interesting one. The shapes of the flowers to cardinal basil is a interesting variety, I would say, for most people.
Wow. All the
Uh,
different types.
See, I'm
Different
a,
leaf sizes and shapes and flavors and flower colors and shapes. And even plant heights. We do have a few dwarf varieties that stay really small.
Now, how about basil lettuce leaf? Because I have never seen this before.
For sure. That's a really great variety. It's not as flavorful or as pungent as the other varieties, but a lot of people who do like this variety, their complaint with other varieties of basil, it's just they like the aroma, but it's just too strong for them to eat. For those people, this is a great choice. Some people even use it like lettuce in their burgers. That's how mild it is for them. It won't be. I don't think everyone can tolerate that, but for people who do really like a lot of basil, they can definitely use it like lettuce. And for
Okay.
those who might be adverse to the strong flavor of basil, it's a great starting point to see if maybe you do like the flavor, but it's just a little bit too strong for you in other varieties.
They contain vitamin A, minerals such as calcium, magnesium, and potassium.
Right. And there are subtle differences between varieties as well as what levels what each may contain, but we don't have the studies for all of that. Nutritional studies is something we get asked for a lot, and we do. If you do ask us for a nutritional study on something, we will do our best to find it, but it's not a study that we do ourselves.
Sure.
This one right here, Thigh Holy Capro. I know I didn't pronounce
The
that right.
Thai holy. Uh-huh. Well, Richie would be the one that would
Well,
Yes.
well, I'll tell you, we have a few members on our staff from different Asian countries, and they tell me I butcher the names all the time too.
That makes me feel better then.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, it is something that's definitely specific to that area, that side of the planet. They don't necessarily need to be from that specific country to pronounce it right, but for us, we butcher the names. It doesn't work out for us. I can't tell you. I won't even try to pronounce that one either.
Okay. Well, I hear other YouTubers saying that they're growing the Thai holy basil all the time, but they
Right,
don't say the last one, the
right.
capra, capreo,
Caproa, maybe something like that. But
Pepper.
yeah,
capreo. I don't
yeah.
know.
And a lot of times, even a name like that, some of our varieties we will know it as Thai holy basil, but locally that might be the word they use to describe it. And we do try to add that in there because we get a lot of calls from people, from different parts of the world. They'll ask us, "Hey, do you have this?" And we do have it. It's just that we don't have it listed under their native name where it came from. So we try to put that in there if we can find it.
Okay.
Now, Richie, when's the best time to pick this?
For sure.
Like I
So
noticed it's flower and everything.
Mhm.
It looks like it's great for bees.
Right. Yeah,
When's
bees
the
love
best?
basil.
Yeah,
It's
so what?
um
Okay.
there's a few factors involved. So one is the age. Obviously, younger leaves are just more appetizing in terms of looks, but they also do have less of that pungent, oily flavor that other varieties, other when harvested at other times, it does have. So the rule of thumb is harvesting before it begins to flower. And generally, you will want to prune your basil plant to remove the flowers to help it live as long as it can, as if it does go to seed, the plant tends to just die back. But also, removing the flowers helps to keep the leaves not oily and not too pungent and great for eating at that time. Um, so, harvesting right before it flowers is ideal. And secondly, the time of day you harvest kind of matters as well. Harvesting in the early morning before the sun hits it has been shown to help preserve those flavors that are in it, as well as help with wilting and that type of thing. So there are a few factors involved, but it is still very usable even when flowering and harvest at any time of the day. Just expect more pungent leaves when harvested during flowering. And many recipes do call for the flowers themselves, which is generally used as a garnish. Flowers are
Okay.
so strong that you generally don't eat them. It is edible, but it's usually just used as a flavoring, a garnish, or a seasoning at that stage.
I have some lemon basil planted out front that I used as it grows kind of out, not up as much as it grows out.
Mhm.
And I use it as in my flower garden as
Yep,
decorations,
for
as like
sure.
a border, which is it's beautiful, really pretty.
Yep. And it is a pollinator favorite, especially of bees. Usually with lemongrass in any garden or farm I have, or I've been, not lemongrass, sorry, basil, you'll see bees around it. It's one of their favorites as well.
Have you noticed more bees this year? Or I know it's all one season basically,
Right.
but have you noticed more bees?
Yes, for sure. This year we've found quite a few beehives on and around the Baker Creek farm, and compared to last year, we weren't there for the whole year last year on that specific farm, but we really didn't encounter any bees at all that year. So I'm not sure if there is an uptick in them in bees on a whole, but we've definitely noticed more impact and more visitations and more hives.
So, Ann, pick a vegetable. What do you want to? Which one? Which one do you want to look at?
Oh goodness, you caught me off guard there.
Besides tomatoes and peppers, because we did that last time.
Besides tomatoes and peppers, how about cucumbers?
Sure.
Okay, cucumbers.
We are putting in a few cucumber varieties now as well, for the first time on the farm, and we're going to see how those do.
Okay. Because I mean, there's like a million different kinds of cucumbers, right?
There are lots of varieties of cucumbers for sure, and we carry a lot by many people's standards, but that's just, just the tip of the iceberg. But we do try to, especially for crops like that, try to carry varieties that are as different from each other as possible. Like you can see the Sikkim cucumber there, which is a really weird one for most people.
Now, if I was seeing this cucumber at the store, I'm not buying it.
I hear you. But actually, it's a delicious cucumber. The skin is still edible. It looks like it would taste like tree bark, but it doesn't. It's a very delicious variety, and it is a very heat tolerant variety. So a lot of people in hot areas or during hot weather, they have a problem with cucumbers that just don't taste really well. They go bitter really quickly.
Right.
But Sikkim, that holds up pretty well to the heat, and even has some drought tolerance to it too.
Wow. That is an unusual looking cucumber, isn't it?
For sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm like, so when's the best time to pick?
Yeah.
Well, it does remain, as with other cucumbers. Generally, the younger they are, the tastier they are. But it's a trade-off between, the size as well as the flavor. But for home gardeners, I always, as early as possible, pick them young baby cucumber. They're delicious.
Yeah.
But for market gardeners, they generally have to try to get as much weight as they can while still giving good flavor, for sure.
Okay.
Well, I never seen this jerkin, the West Indian
Burger.
jerkin.
Right.
I
So
never seen that one.
that's a really fun variety for kids. Most people don't grow it so much for eating. It's not the most economic variety, like the spoon tomato. It's not easy to pick. It's really easy to care for, very heat tolerant. Many people grow it for greenery too, but it's one of those fun, quirky plants to grow in your garden if you have the extra space. But not necessarily something that might be a hit at your local farmers market.
Okay.
It seems like a whole bunch of kids will have cucumber fights throwing at each other.
Yeah.
They look a little dangerous, quite frankly.
Well, that's just the look. It's not actually spiky. It's not going to
Okay, good.
or anything.
Okay, how about the Soyo Long?
I really want to try
That's
that.
the Asian cucumbers are very delicious. That's one of their specialties as well. They breed a lot, and they Asian in a lot of Asian countries they make a lot of farms will try to grow like just really perfect fruit, whether it be taste or looks or stuff like that. So they do a lot of breeding, and this is a parthenocarpic variety too, which means it doesn't need to be pollinated. It will produce cucumbers no matter what when it comes to pollination. So for a lot of
I gotta
times,
write that down. Let me write that down. I need that.
so when growing cucumber, it's generally not encountered when growing cucumbers outdoors. There's always pollinators and wind and stuff around. You might have a little bit lower yield, but you generally will get something. But when you begin to grow cucumbers indoors in greenhouses, if you don't introduce pollinators, generally you won't get anything. You'll get lots of cucumber leaves, lots of flowers, and little to no cucumbers. But with parthenocarpic varieties, pollination doesn't affect fruit set. So they can be pollinated, but whether it is or isn't, it will still produce fruit.
It's fascinating.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people are afraid of the lemon cucumbers.
Right, and it doesn't taste lemony. It has a citrus flavor to it, but that was one of the first varieties that I ever grew from Baker Creek on a personal level, and it's a great variety. Yeah, very heat tolerant, more so than other cucumber varieties, and beautiful too. Great in salads and that type of thing, I would say.
Does it have at all? I mean, it looks like a squash.
No, the texture is like that of a cucumber. The taste is like that of a cucumber. You might be just thinking too hard about it, but it does have a slight sweet citrusy taste to it.
Okay.
But it's an all-round cucumber. The dragon's egg cucumber, that one's a really nice variety too. A little bit different just due to the shape and the structure of the flesh. It has a cucumber flavor, but that one is a lot. You can just see for yourself there. The structure is just so much different than a regular cucumber. That one might throw you off a bit with the texture, but also it's one of white cucumbers are for many people, and in Asian countries, they consider them some of the best tasting varieties.
It's just so fascinating. You go around the whole entire world and you see something like, what the heck is that?
Right.
And all of a sudden you get seeds from it and you're like, oh, this is pretty good. It tastes like a cucumber. Oh,
Right.
it's because it's a cucumber.
Your eyes just have to get your brain to know it. That's all. That's
Right. And that's one of the things that we really like doing as a company is, just we like what a lot of times, if even as children, I think if a lot more of us were introduced to these different varieties, we'd be more accepting of new varieties. And it's not bad to not, we like what we like, but we might be willing to try new varieties and different varieties that we see. And a lot of times, I would think most of us who don't end up doing that are just kind of hurting ourselves, because
well, that's the
it's
truth.
really good.
That last year was the first time I ever grew any yellow tomatoes.
Right.
Well, I'm a tomato person, and tomatoes to me are supposed to be red. And
Right.
so I was going, okay, I will try them. They're my new favorite one.
Yeah. And it would be, I'm sure you'd have been happier to know that earlier,
Yes,
especially.
I would have
maybe
been.
at home.
Yes, I would have been.
Mhm.
How about the China Jade? Because I'm growing that this year too. I'm
You
looking
are?
forward to growing that.
So that's also a Parthena carpic variety, and that one is a delicious. That one I would a lot of the Asian varieties we carry, a lot of people consider them gourmet varieties, or where they come from in that country, that area is considered a gourmet variety, whereas just over selection and choosing different varieties, it might have the ideal texture, or the ideal this or that. And this being an almost seedless variety that's so big, people really like that, because purpless cucumbers, English cucumbers, tend to be much smaller, much thicker, slightly different texture. So this one is a really great variety. It's seedless and purpless.
Wow.
Boom. So I say about that. Boom. And look, even bouts of anger. I don't have any anger, so I'm good with that. But the cooling effect is said to soothe heat-related ailments. So that's interesting about heat-induced bouts of anger, actually. That's pretty interesting.
Because you can cool off with a cool cucumber. That's what
There you go.
So cool.
it's cool. I like pickling and salsa and things like that. So,
and we do have some of these varieties, like we have pickling varieties that tend to be just better for pickling than other varieties.
Because some of these varieties, I have found out the hard way, when you pickle them, they're not the right variety to pickle. They're just, when you bite into, they smell luscious, and you bite into them and they're mushy.
Yeah.
And it's like so sad, because you spent all that work in trying to can them and pickle them.
That's definitely a complaint of some of the varieties we carry. We do try to include as much info as we can, but a lot of times you're shopping, you've done all your research on the 30 different varieties you want. You see this really cool one, you just add it to your cart. So there's no blame to be said there. But like we said, the more we grow, the more we know.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, so we're going to talk about 5 minutes for squash. Then we got to open it up, because time's flying by already. This is crazy. It's crazy how fast. It's almost 8 o'clock.
Oh my goodness.
So with squash, what is your top varieties of squash, or something that you say, hey, you know what, you guys should try this out?
Right. So for the summer squash, we do have I forget the exact name. It's a serpentine variety. If you scroll down, you should see it, an Italian variety, which for me is just really trippy growing it. One of the coolest summer squash varieties I've ever grown. If you scroll on a bit more, it should come up there at some point. We do carry quite a bit of summer squash varieties.
I love the Ford hook. The Ford hook has always been amazing to me.
Yeah.
I love the Ford hook. That's where I get my.
There we go. The Zucchino Rampicante. Yeah, that one's a delicious variety for me. when harvested at the right age, and it can be harvested very young, it's a very tender variety. And it can be left to be used as a summer squash too, but I don't prefer it as a summer squash so much. But I think it makes an excellent as a winter squash. I don't prefer it as a winter squash, but I think it makes an excellent summer squash, and it's almost, I would say, cucumber flavor, very refreshing compared to a lot of other summer squash varieties. That's what I really like about it.
Well, it looks beautiful.
Mhm.
Imagine carrying that thing around.
It's crazy. Oh, gosh, your photographers are amazing.
They definitely are. They work really hard and smart too. Like they do things that a lot of us as the gardeners and growers we can't do. We can't make you appreciate and want the variety as much as they can.
They're very, very talented. And it is not you just throw some squash up there and take a picture of it. This
No,
is
a lot goes
very
on.
well planned.
Yeah, many of those pictures are weeks and weeks of work. Some of them is a whole day. So
Right.
many times the photographers will they'll do 2, 3, 4 varieties in a day and have hundreds of pictures and go
Yeah.
through all the different styles they've tried. So it's a really big job, the media side of Baker Creek, for
It
sure.
My friend Juliana, she grew that last year. She has
The
pictures of
Ford
it, and I love the pictures that she has. That's what a great vegetable. It's so fascinating.
That variety, right? The Tronco. I don't usually pronounce all of that. One's also a great. That one.
That's it.
The up one and they far right.
You're right.
Okay.
Yeah,
They-
that's also that variety for me. In not during we just started summer squash and other squash on the trial farm, so we don't really have that data yet. But personally, growing that variety has done really well in hot climates for me.
Okay. Well, I have never had a patty pan squash come to maturity.
Do you usually get like a blossom end rot?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, yeah, they do. With the squash bugs, we have squash bugs terribly, and then they look they have beautiful blooms, and then they start off with these precious little babies, and they just kind of fold into each other and go away, and
right.
so we've
Um,
tried a lot of different things.
Yeah, there could be a few issues. One thing that you should definitely try is giving them a calcium supplement, though that helps with most types of rot. And a lot of times, calcium is kind of like just how we use calcium in our body. It strengthens the fibers and what you might consider the bones of the plant, helps it to be more resilient to things like squash bugs, pests, funguses. So calcium is always a great option. But also, yeah, squash bugs will wreak havoc on your
Yeah,
yield.
they get in those stems, man. There's
Mhm.
nothing you can do once they're in there.
Mhm.
Hardly. I mean, there are some things, but
And then with mulching works well, but with a lot of patty pan types are bush types, which it's really hard to mulch those.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we use a weed barrier,
Okay.
which works out great.
Row cover. Yeah.
And this year, we try something different a
Mhm.
lot. And with that, because we had blossom end rot on our tomatoes in the same area that we would put our patty pan squash this time, it's been well calcified this time. So I'm expecting some amazing and wonderful results.
Hopefully.
But I planted marigolds about every 2 feet this year in the garden,
Yeah.
I think.
Intercropping helps.
Yes.
The hot peppers too, are great for helping to repel stuff and making natural pesticides out of.
Okay, good, because we got some of those too. So
Right.
So, do you get a lot of fungus problems in Jamaica?
It is one of the bigger problems depending on variety, but only when it's raining. So we have the rainy season and the dry season. So during the rainy season, fungus issues are a big deal. We deal with a lot of rots too. So I can see the question too. Where is it and how do you take care of it? We primarily do preventative spraying, and most Jamaican farmers use neem-based products. Even the inorganic farmers, neem is just so widely available out here. And they've done a lot of testing, and we have a lot of different formulations, and a lot of them aren't available in the US too. But it's one of the best products that we have for preventing fungus and getting rid of it. So it's a common one that we use here. Um, it's as accumulating the knowledge has just been a lifetime of talking and working with people. That's where most, if not all of it came from, just working with others and talking with them and hearing their viewpoints and their experiences and what they know about growing and farming. And a lot of it too has come from, experimentation and growing myself, but majority of it came from others.
Okay, that's wonderful.
So any kind of questions, just make sure they're all in caps.
There was one, Camper 14 said that how much calcium should you add when to the soil to help tomatoes and peppers?
For sure. It depends on the method that you use. There's
Yeah.
different formulations. Definitely, if you do buy a calcium product, follow what instructions are given. A lot of them are liquid. A lot of them are slow release or solid or instant release. My favorite for when you know you have a calcium problem or suspect it would be liquid supplements, because you can foliar feed. And a lot of times, especially here in Jamaica, we get our blossom end rots when it's raining a lot, because everything's so saturated. The plant's just not taking up much nutrients or water or anything at all, which so they don't get enough calcium. And foliar feeding is a great way to fix that. So I like foliar feeding, and it can be done almost all the time, especially if you have an organic calcium liquid, which most of them are. Most calcium supplements are organic, especially just pure calcium supplements. So the liquid one is the best, is one you should always have in your arsenal. It might not be the best one. Depends on how you farm. Long-term applicants or more long-term ways, maybe even adding eggshells or different long-term calcium formulations may work better or be more efficient. But I think you should always have some liquid calcium supplement, because even when doing that, if you ever run into a problem, then the liquid one will fix it for you. And
Okay.
yeah, eggshells are a great additive, but they are not so great at fixing a problem. If you do already have a problem, they will fix it, but it can usually take a bit of a time depending on how long they take to break down. The finer you crush them, the better. A nice powder is usually more accessible than just chunks of eggshells. But I more consider using eggshells to build up your soil over time. But if you're having an issue right now, then you generally would need something that's more concentrated.
Sure. Well, we used some whole milk
Oh,
last year. We used some whole milk and some 5-gallon buckets with Milana tools. So it's a anti-acid medication,
yep.
but it has calcium. It's a whole bunch of
Right.
calcium.
Yeah,
So we put in 5 gallons.
Tums is a great option. They're expensive, but dropping
Yeah.
a Tums or two
I
in
mean, we have a garden,
the
not a farm, so that
Mm.
was different. But yeah, it's a matter of where you live, what
Mhm.
type of soil you have, in my opinion,
For sure.
and what you would do. But I like the idea of your liquid calcium. That sounds
Right. Because usually, if you, just like you said, soil can play a big impact. Some people have hydrophobic soil, then how do they get their nutrition in there? But um, spraying on the leaves, foliar feeding is a great option. Yeah, you can use milk in your garden, outdated or not. It's definitely something to be careful with. I mean, you can end up attracting some unwanted critters or creatures or pests around, but there are lots of benefits. Even one of the benefits, there's a pesticide that everyone knows as BT, Bacillus thuringiecide, if I'm pronouncing that right too. And that's a beneficial bacteria that's great for worms, different types of worms, caterpillars, any other worm issues that you may have, and also a few other crops. But excels at treating worms. And there's a pretty common old wives' tale, about using milk for same thing in your garden and funguses. BT also helps with funguses. And it turns out that while when milk sours, it can one contain that bacteria and will also help be uh, a home for that bacteria. So spores or that bacteria in the air, in the weather, floating around, whatever it may be, when it does get there, it can make a home there and colonies can spread. So yeah, milk is great in the garden, and just as an organic additive, just most, if not all foods, if you're eating it, it can go in your garden. You generally don't want to put meat and stuff like that in there, but that's less about it's not good for the garden and getting it broken down in time without attracting pests and critters, as well as not, getting yourself sick. So generally, people avoid using meats, but even when they can be used and generally are used in big compost piles that can break it down really quickly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
on diatomaceous earth, I think it's a great mechanical pesticide. For those who don't want to spray something or add something, it works great. But what you need to remember is as soon as it picks up any moisture, that's the effectiveness of it is gone. It's like a sharp crystal, sharp shards that it will stick and irritate soft-bodied pests. So it's great for that, but its lifespan really depends on how dry it is where you are. Coffee grounds, I love using that in the garden too, but it is worth noting to be careful with, though you can easily burn your plant depending on how strong, how much. Twice brewed coffee grounds is my rule of thumb, and I like to just use it as a top dress, so not really mixing it into the soil so much, because you can run into issues burning your plants with making it a little bit more acid, the soil and area more acidic, as well as too much nitrogen at once. It just really depends. But coffee grounds are one of the things that I would use with a bit more caution. Not saying not use it, just in more moderate doses compared to other organic supplements you might have. I've never tried banana tea, but I've heard good things about it, and banana peels and pieces of banana and chopped up banana leaves all are great for the garden, so I don't see why not. Teas are a great way to get nutrition into your plant in a foliar manner as well, which I like foliar feeding. I think it's a great, you can still feed every other way you want, but adding that to it just adds another avenue of intake, which is good.
Well, I know we got to go, but someone may be like me and not be real familiar with the term foliar feeding.
Right.
And
So
so what do you mean by that?
So foliar feeding just refers to plants uptaking nutrition through the leaves, which every plant is capable of doing. They're able to use their leaves to absorb nutrients, any part of the plant really. The roots are generally more effective, but once the whatever is you're trying to get into that plant is on the leaves and it's formulated in a manner that's available for them, so dry powder won't absorb into leaves, but a well mixed mixture will.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and
Great.
most fertilizers in liquid form, they are in liquid form so that they can double as both foliar feed as well as into the soil and so forth.
Gotcha.
For this question, milk, like we said, milk does have benefits, both antifungal and helps to keep worms away, but not really milk itself. It's rather the BT that bacteria that's in milk or is living in that milk colony. So it can help. It's not a be all and end all for most people. A lot of people don't have much success with it, and a decent amount of people do have some success with it, but it is not as effective as something that is like just BT itself, concentrated BT that those bacterial colonies already alive and kicking, ready to do its job, will be a lot more effective than trying to breed your own bacterial colonies to help defend your plant.
There you go. There you go. That sounds great.
Richie, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your
No worries.
knowledge. I mean, it's coming from Jamaica, and it's a pleasure. This
Thank
is
you
great.
for having me again. I appreciate you guys, and anytime.
Thank you.
And we got to come on the new seed catalog.
For sure. It's we're working on it right now. We we start working on it early, and we want to get it printed by August this year. So maybe we'll get them out a little bit earlier too.
Well, now, Coach Joe, you know a guy, so we're going to have to. We'll have to get some inside scoop there. Maybe be first in line.
Well, thank you again, Richie. It's
No
such
worries.
thank you so much for coming
Happy
on.
to be here, and thank you guys for having me on too.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you to the audience for having me as well. And like I said, happy Mother's Day to all of you out there.
Thank you so much, Richie.
Bye-bye.
Wow, isn't that fascinating? And I think we didn't talk. We barely talked about anything.
We talked about so much, but not specifically what may have been on the agenda. But
I'm noticing the chat. I got my Fred wants to marry me. Can you plant pierogies? All these things, I tell you. No, this was great.
That's better than other things.
Yeah, exactly. I love to plant pierogies. But what a wealth of knowledge. I mean, you talk to any single plant. They grow 2,000 plants over there, 2,000 varieties, I should say.
Yeah,
and they shed out a couple every single year, and they keep on going. That's what Richie said when we're talking. Ann and I were talking in the chat. I mean, that's amazing. Imagine having 2,000 varieties, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna throw some out. We'll add some new.
Yeah,
get something. No big deal."
You're going to bed and you're waking up.
Well, we're gonna go. Let me see what I have.
Yeah, I hear that your whole family's over at your mother's house celebrating Mother's Day, except for you.
I came to do the show, and everybody else is celebrating at my mom's house.
Oh,
having several beverages, as you can see.
Oh my gosh, having fun.
Having fun, and yes, I'm here doing the show and everything. So happy Mother's Day, Mom, if you're watching. Hello. And Julie, bring me a hamburger and hot dog home, and maybe some watermelon.
That's right.
It's great to see my wife in the chat. That was
It's wonderful.
That was pretty nice.
I don't see her in there very often, and it's really fun.
She's usually Gail lurking, just lurking in the chat. Then she's busy working and stuff like that. Well, let's give away some books to start, and then we're gonna go. Let me see. Let's give away this first.
Ooh, a crochet kit.
There.
What a cute little deer.
And then we got some books fresh from the garden. This is from Jesse and Lisa from Lazy Days Ahead. So you can make all these.
Oh, they have the best books.
So we're going to give away 2 of those. And then they also bought these Grow and Eat.
There you go.
So thank you for Jesse and Lisa from Lazy Days Ahead. I appreciate it. So let's give those off right off the bat, and then we're going to go to our next interview with Arsenic Element, Operation Capsaicin, and King Poobah from Wide Family Farm. Talking about Blackstone Saturday.
Woohoo!
So, all right. So let me get the wheel.
Thank you so much for having me here, Joe. I really have appreciated it.
We love you. I mean, you're so generous. I mean, you're awesome.
No, that might depend on who you ask.
So let me shuffle. Welcome. Thank you, everybody, for coming. There's 78 people in the chat. We actually have 102 on all social media. So thank you, everyone, for spending your Mother's Day with us. I really appreciate it. We have over 80 members right now. It's either 70 or 80. So thank you for all the members of the channel.
That's amazing.
And if you are a Joseph's Journey member, you automatically win that prize. So that's something new that we're doing in the channel. So if a Joseph's Journey member gets rung up, they automatically win. So that's something brand new.
That's
okay,
great.
so this is for the crochet deer. Good luck. Here's the book.
Let's see the book.
This is for the crochet there. Idaho Garden Girl.
Congratulations.
Now, Idaho Garden Girl is a Joseph's Journey member, but they also might not want the dare. They could also choose seeds or give it to someone else. So if they are here, Idaho Garden Girl, let us know what you want to do with that. If
I've
you
got
want to
2
crochet,
chats running up. I've got the one from StreamYard and YouTube. So I'm trying to be a good assistant. But I'm not very good at the chat, so I don't know. You pick the.
There she is here. She is here. So, Idaho Garden Girl, do you want the crochet dare, or do you want seeds, or you want to give it to someone else? I want seeds. So let us know what kind of seeds do you. Oh, we're going right to Baker's Creek.
Yeah.
So, oh no, that's right. You know what? I don't have. The only things I have is, ready is Baker's Creek seeds.
Okay. Well, she had a pepper beside that. A pepper. Oh no, that's your membership. That's your membership.
Oh, Margie, thank you so much. I really appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much.
Okay.
You know what? If you win, because our time's very limited, I'm either going to give you a Baker's Creek seed or whatever seed you want. Just email me. Make it easy. We'll make it easy. When you win tonight, just tell me if you want a Baker's Creek, which will be a surprise, or give me a variety of seeds like a cucumber, a tomato, a pepper. Just let me know what kind of seed you want.
Yeah.
So Idaho Garden Girl, just let me know, and I will email you some seeds.
Hey, Canadian Proud.
We'll just make it nice and easy. Okay, this is for the crochet dare. Thank you, Dustin. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, King
So we're back to the dare. Back to the dare. Thank you for all the members. Thank you guys for all the support. Cruising is fun.
Yay! Congratulations.
So that will be the first time they won if they are in a chat. If you are in a chat, let us know. Do you want the deer? Do you want seeds? Do you want to give it to someone else? Okay, this is fresh from the garden book. We got to hurry up and get rid of it. We're starting to lack.
I'll keep
2 minutes behind. You got to be on time. Fresh from the garden. Thank you for all the love. I see all those hearts flying all over the place. I appreciate it, guys. Love those hearts.
They are really cool.
And Dale Homestead.
Yay! I'll take the books.
Awesome. Congratulations.
But you don't have to do that.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, you could put it for somebody else if it's weird because I'm not co-host.
It's all yours, Ann. Fresh from the garden book. Another one. Boom.
Okay. Big dartboard. All right. Fresh from the garden. Thank you.
Fresh from the garden.
I still haven't seen that other person though.
Doris Artman.
Congratulations, Doris Artman. I haven't seen. Lord, I needed to write down the name. You know, my brain is not all the way to the top floor.
So congratulations, Doris Artman. You won a Fresh from the Garden book.
Okay, so, and we were looking for, what was the other one we were looking for? Because I haven't seen them.
Cruising for Fun.
Right, cruising is fun.
Or cruising is fun, that's right. Doris is here. Thank you. Awesome.
There, yay.
So here's the Grow and Eat book. Grow and Eat book. Thank you, Julie Kozlowski, for the super chat. Thank you for all the mods. Nana's Crazy Life.
Nana's Crazy Life. And Nanas can be crazy. Trust me. I'm a mama, and I can tell you, I can have a crazy life.
But you gotta love the Nana is crazy. You
That's
gotta love them
right.
all.
Gotta love Nana's crazy line.
Greg Bryson.
Greg Bryson.
Greg Bryson is a Joseph's Journey member. So they
Oh,
automatically won the book.
so he wins right off the bat. That's awesome.
So the only thing we need to know from Greg is, does he want the book or does he want seeds, or what does he want to just give it to someone else? So that's all we need to know from Greg if we see Greg in the chat. If Greg doesn't come, he gets the book anyway, because that's the way Joseph's Journey members roll.
That's right. That's right. And I tell you, you are so kind to give people a choice. I mean, honestly, you could get away with saying you get what you get and you don't throw a fit and, that kind of thing. But you let them trade it in and trade it up and all kinds of stuff. That's so fun. Oh, Greg Bryson says, yes, I'll take the book. Yay.
Awesome.
Good, Greg.
So we're going to welcome Dustin from Wide Family Farm, our scenic element. And he's from New Jersey. You got to see this guy's peppers. It's amazing. All these guys are hot peppers. That's how they're all grouped together. And Operation Capsaicin, I don't know if he's here. Awesome. So here we are. This is Dustin from Wide Family Farm, our scenic element, and Operation Capsaicin.
Woohoo.
What's going on?
So that's what it looks like in New Jersey if you look at our scenic element. Look at the blue skies.
What I was doing earlier, if you're gonna see behind me, you see the deer. I was feeding the deer again just before while I was backstage. I was feeding it bread.
Well, since you're hunting all the time now, are you gonna hunt?
Maybe not that one.
Hey, look at my new toy I got.
Yeah, right.
Oh, look, venison.
You can ride that one to work, save on gas.
Gracious.
How you doing, Dustin? How's the garden going?
We're about 90% planted,
Fantastic.
90% done. But then, of course, they changed the forecast on me. So we have one close day next week. I was like, oh no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Worst case scenario, we'll cover everything. I mean, we can do it. It'd just be a pain in the butt, but we'll do it.
Yeah.
Last summer only rained 2 or 3 times in New Jersey. Right now, it's only rained once in the last 3 weeks, and next week's supposed to be all dry. At least where I'm at. I don't know about our scenic, but
Well, we had a little rain, not as much.
yeah, it's starting to get really dry again. And Operation Capsaicin, what's going on?
How's it going?
So, guys, talk about Blackstone Saturday. Like, you guys started a little bit about it last year. What do you guys want to do with it? Is it going to be hot pepper related? Because you're all hot pepper heads. I mean, what's your plan? And what time do you guys want to go around? What's your game plan? What are you guys thinking about doing?
I think we had agreed on doing like a brunch, our next next one. So we can do. I know I was going to do burgers. I actually got a recipe from Sam the Cooking Guy. It was like a Big Mac variety, but like a spicy Japanese mayonnaise instead of actual Big Mac sauce.
Nice.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. I can't wait to try that one.
Yeah.
You see the deer in the background of Arsenic? There's a deer right there.
How close the deer is.
Oh my gosh.
It said it was feeding. I touched it before.
Is that a water bowl for it right there?
It's food that we feed the birds, the squirrels, and all that stuff. The deers.
That's what you do when you plant tomatoes, isn't it?
Yeah. So far, it hasn't eaten the tomato plant in the back yet.
Okay.
It's pregnant, I think. I believe she's pregnant. So
Yeah.
hopefully, she brings her kids around one day.
Oh.
Cool.
Yeah, she got a big old belly on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Crazy how close it is.
Well, you guys,
Yeah. I'm waiting for it to get closer.
you'll need to instruct me a little bit, gentlemen, on the Blackstone process. I purchased one for my husband last year for Father's Day. It's still in the box, but yeah, I know we have to get it out and break it in. And so, what would be the first steps for a brand newbie, somebody that knows nothing about Blackstones, to be able to get started on it? I would assume there would be some seasoning.
Yep. You're going to want to
Yes,
season
some seasoning. Yep.
You're going to have to figure out what you want to use to season it. A lot of people use canola oil. They sell an actual like Blackstone brand seasoning stuff that I believe is canola oil based that you put on there. But I would season it at least 3 times. Let it heat up, just like cast iron.
Okay, well, we have a
thing.
lot of cast iron.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. I would do it at least 3 times before you cook on it. Is what I would do.
Okay. All right, and so it needs to kind of sort of look a little like cast iron, a little brown.
Yeah,
yeah.
Good dark too. Yeah,
it'll get that color to it, and clean it when it's hot. That's something to know. Clean it when it's hot.
Okay.
Don't let it. It's easier. I mean, you can heat it back up after you eat or whatever, but if you want to scrape off the most of the mess when it's still hot, then it'll save you.
And they have tools for that. I mean, that won't scratch it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I bought him the kit. I bought it. Got to get him the kit.
Yeah.
No.
Look arsenic. Look what's going on there. Look, he's there, reaching his arm out with the camera.
Right from his hands.
The deer whisperer.
Awesome.
I got to touch it again.
Good. Do you live in like a neighborhood or the country or?
No, neighborhood. This deer comes from like the train tracks or something.
Okay, we do too. Yeah. We have some deer in our yard as well. A rebel, Wide Family Farm says.
Arsenic lives in central New Jersey, so right in the center of New Jersey.
Okay.
It's probably the very center. He lives in Edison, and the center is maybe, I don't know, 5 miles north of him, maybe to the west. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but he's very close to the center. So what do you?
I'm like around everything. Yeah.
And I'm away from everything, so I totally understand.
Yeah, you got to see the traffic up by him. You don't want to be near that traffic.
No way.
No.
I'm out.
So what do you guys plan to grill this Saturday? Do you have a game plan each and every single week? Or it's like whatever you find in the grocery store that's on sale that you're going to cook?
Yeah, usually.
Yeah, that's how I plan it. Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of something different. You think, I'm going to try that. I've got some chorizo, some hot chorizo sausage that I've been saving. I just for when we do it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to make some eggs and fry it up. I love making eggs on there.
Now, I have used it once, and I had it was for a party. We had a party for my niece, and that's when I tore my Achilles tendon. So I did some of the cooking, and then I had to sit down. Well, nobody ever cleaned the grill.
Oh man! Just today I did some corn. I reheated some cauliflower, some Indian cauliflower, and some Indian stuffed potato patties. So I warmed that up on Blackstone just earlier.
That's awesome.
He does some cool stuff on there. He's always surprising me at what he's throwing on there, heating it up on there. It's pretty cool.
So, what a great thing for y'all to connect around. I mean,
fun. It's just you get to we've become pretty close friends. Through this, like we chat offline and stuff all the time. But it's just like this is a way for us to hang out and have a beer with your buddies and have beer together, even though we're hundreds and hundreds of miles apart.
Right. Mo power. I got
you. Arsenic. Is it arsenic or I know we screw it up.
Hey, it's either or, either or you feel comfortable saying it. Either or sounds it's fine.
So I'll continue screwing it up. So hey, it's Mike.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, bada bing, bada boom, huh? Hey, how you doing?
Let's do it. So as you can see, our snake, I see I'm going to screw it up. He's from New Jersey. Operation Capsaicin's from Florida, and King Poobah is from Ohio.
Yep.
So
Okay.
that was in the chat. So, okay, so I didn't clean a grill. I got yelled at. Well, what happens to the grill? It turns nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And my wife's in the chat. She could say it's all my fault. Who cares about your leg? You didn't clean it. You know, what is the best way to get the rust off the grill?
Oof.
Oh, Dad, I saw, I saw on YouTube, of course, what they did. They actually just sanded it down completely, edges, everything, and then what is it when you re-greased it, like
Seasoned, yeah.
re-seasoned, yeah, and then re-seasoned it more than normal because you did take off a lot of it, and he re-seasoned it at least 10 times or something, make sure that it got back its original form.
Yeah.
Another way too, if you want to get that in depth with it, I actually took my top off and I dunked it in vinegar for about 3 hours, and all the impurities came out, and then you re-season it.
They also have a Blackstone brick for Blackstones. So in case you got any rust spots or something that you need to clean up, they have those as well.
Oh, that's a great idea. And the vinegar too. Wow.
Yeah. Vinegar.
I guess it all depends on how extreme, You might be able to heat it up real good, kind of oil it, heat it up, and then you can actually use small amounts of water. You don't want to get it real wet. Just like cast iron, you wouldn't want to have a screaming hot cast iron and dump a bunch of water in it because that's going to be bad.
Yeah.
But it's how they clean griddles at like restaurants. They use water in the steam.
Squeeze bottle.
Yeah, they'll put some water on there. That steam will release a lot of the gunk that's on there, and you just scrape it off. So there's multiple ways to do it. It all depends how bad it is. If it got rusty, how extreme you have to get out with the power sander and actually.
I tell you what, now is the time where everybody starts to grill, and you see all the Blackstones on the side of the road. I'm not using that again. You see a lot,
and they're perfectly fine. Yep, and they're perfectly fine.
Did you see Wickershire? Wait a minute, I can't get it. But Wickershire, he's talking. He's saying, you need some more iron. Just leave the rust on. And he said, "I'm just kidding. Don't really do that."
And I try to keep my Blackstone as good as possible. These guys always say that I never use it.
His is actually like an off-brand Blackstone. It's not an actual Blackstone brand.
Yeah,
his seasoned up to where you can see your reflection in that thing. I mean, I'm jealous of the seasoning that his grill took. I mean, it literally was shiny. It's like looking at a picturesque like lake in the summer with no wind. Like you see reflections off of it. It's crazy.
I sent them a picture of it today because I finally brought it out because I also bought a portable grill table for it. So in case we ever go like camping or to the beach or whatever, I could just bring it with me. And I took a picture of it, and it was still shiny as it was like if I first opened it from the box. and it was outside all winter and everything, catching webs and everything.
Oh my goodness!
So what time are you guys going to go the same exact time each week?
No. I think it's different all the time. I guess it depends on who's working, who's available, at what time they're available.
Yeah, but it'll be 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, usually something like that.
Yeah, usually around there.
And so we can find you cooking at your channels, on your channels.
We're usually on Operation Capsaicin. He'll live stream it. That's
yes.
Okay. Well, good. Well, it's nice to meet you.
It's fun. It's like you can come hang out with us at our barbecue. We're having a beer and barbecuing, and we can all hang out and chat. It's just
cooking 5 pounds of bacon.
Yeah, cooking 5 pounds of bacon.
Yeah, like I'm thinking of doing pork chops maybe next time I go on there.
You
gotta try Bada Bing pork chops. Look it up. Bada Bing pork chops.
Bada bing, pork chops.
Yep, bada bing. It's a Jersey thing. Bada bing.
Bada bang.
Bada bing. Of course, I might
Okay,
not
guys,
be able to get away with that.
And do you have any other questions for these young guys?
I'm excited about being able to go on to Obscapsation on Saturday around 1 or 2. And I'm sure, see, you guys are the kind that my husband would just love to sit at home. He's a hunter, a fisherman. He does all the grilling outside. He's, just chilling back and saying, that looks good. Okay, I like that. All right, well, I could use that. So maybe that would.
Well, he's welcome to come on.
Oh, well, he ain't coming on. He'll be watching from the other side. I can tell you.
Send them a few peppers.
But it might encourage him to get it out of the box. So that would be good.
Hey, look at this is the way you can get him out of the box. He could jump on, and he don't have to show his face. He could just jump on and join without showing his face. It's still welcome.
There you go.
Thank you. That's very, very kind. Very kind.
And you got to see these guys with hot peppers. I mean, oh my God. They grow the hottest peppers on earth, all three of these guys.
And Matt eats them all.
Pepper guy too.
Yeah, and Matt eats them all.
I've never seen anybody eat peppers like that guy.
I'll be eating some more tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.
Oh, goodness.
I'm so happy we got Matt into growing peppers. Like
a
year ago, this guy had never grown anything. He has 75 pepper plants growing right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You guys enjoy it while you're young, because trust me, the older you get, the hotter those peppers become in all parts of your body. In every aspect of your body.
I have no taste buds anymore, so it doesn't really matter.
They're all gone, huh, Matt?
They're torched.
Well, thank you guys for coming on. And thanks for I can't wait I'm looking forward to this. So, beers, hot peppers, and grilling. What better place to be on a Saturday afternoon?
What can you ask for more, huh?
Maybe feed a deer or two. That would be
good. Yeah.
He'll be waiting for his plate too that day.
Oh, that's great.
Awesome.
Take care, guys, and we'll see you Saturday. And thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Bye, everybody. Thanks.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks.
Nice.
Appreciate it.
Good.
Enjoyed.
Good to see you all.
It's so cut. How do you cut people off when you got a show?
I don't know. Midstream, and oh gosh, but you got to do what you got to do.
So our next guest, we're going to come in about 2 minutes or so. We got Granny D, and so this is going to be awesome. And Daigo Crochet. Now, Daigo Crochet is not in a chat yet, but Granny D is. So we're going to find out when I come back from the wheel to see if they're both there.
We need to give away some things.
I love Granny D. I mean, she has 80, 90, 70, 80, 90. She has so many people in her chat. It has to be hard for one person just to follow everything.
It is.
And you know how it is. I know it is. It's like, oh my God.
Both of us are going. Sorry, didn't mean to miss you.
Granny D does it with such at ease. She's so at ease. And she's promoting at the same time, reading the chat. I think she's totally amazing woman. And so we're going to talk to her in a little bit. And also today's this month is Military Appreciation Month. And Daigo Crochet, she was in the military.
Awesome.
And I'm also hoping to have somebody from the military the rest of the month. So I think that'd be pretty awesome to do that. Yeah. So, okay, so let's get to the wheel before we get to Granny D and Daigo Crochet.
There we go. Giveaway. Seed. Sunday Funday.
Okay, you know what? Let's do 5 seeds right off the bat. So all these seeds will be Baker's Creek, and then we're going to give away a mystery box
Woohoo! Mystery
and that's
box.
going to be all yarn. So, and it's not. And I actually won on Crystal, the Yarny Chicken and Crazy Cat Ladies. She has a monthly giveaway.
Yeah.
It's not that yarn. That's my yarn. That's my yarn. I don't think I win yarn wise. That stays with me.
Okay, there you go.
I haven't even did the Happy Mail with that yet. It's actually in my car. Anyway, you guys will. I'll show you guys in a second. But the first 2 things we're giving away. Well, first 5 things is seeds, and then we're going to give the dare away because the dare wasn't won. And then we're going to give a goat, a dare and a goat.
A deer and a goat.
A dare and a goat. So let's go seeds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes,
then we got the dare, goat, and mystery box.
Awesome. And when you win, because it's coming up, somebody's going to win, be sure and get in the chat as fast as you can and say, yes, please.
Yes, I want it.
Yeah, I want it. Gimme.
Good luck, everyone. Good luck. This is for the Crochet Kit Dear.
Great job, Archie.
Thank you for all the mods. Sir Grace.
Sir Grace.
Sir Grace. That's the first time they've been in a chat. So congratulations to Sir Grace. You win a crochet.
Congratulations.
Next one is
one of his pins.
Next one is the Crochet Kit Goat.
Okay.
Hubby is here. So Grace and Fire, do you want the Crochet Kit Dare? Let us know. Okay, here comes the Crochet Kit Goat.
Now this is the goat.
Yes, I want it. And Third Grace says yes.
Goat. Woohoo!
Fallon Clan Wolf, what would you like to do? Do you want the goat kit? Do you want seeds, which will be Baker's Creek? Or do you want to give this away?
Fallon Clan Wolf. Let me write that down. You said that. You knew how to say that name really well.
Well, I hope it's right. I don't know if it is or not. I'm terrible at names. I'm so bad.
Me too. I'm really, it's sad. You know, we are. I don't see them. Do we have, so we already had Sir Grace that said yes. And so we were looking for some other people.
Yep. Well, what happens is anytime we have a guest, whoever wins in the first, it's done. So they only have usually 5 minutes because the way I look at it, people are here forever in this chat.
Oh, yeah.
Win. So they deserve that, somebody just come on in 2 hours later. Oh, I want it,
Right. Oh, sure. But I meant in this section, we had Sir Grace that won. We're looking for Fallon Clan Wolf. And is that all so far?
That's it. Okay, now 5 things of seeds. Baker Creek seeds. Just say yes, and I'm going to send you wanted Baker's Creek. If you want a certain seed, just email me. I don't have this certain seed, but I can say cucumber, tomato, a pepper, a hot pepper.
It says Fallon Clan Wolf said he wants it.
Awesome. So congratulations. Okay, these are 5 things with Baker Creek seeds. Fallon Clan Wolf, congratulations. Make sure you guys email me once you win. This is Baker Creek seeds. Got to go a little faster. So congratulations to Garrett Dryden 19. It's funny, I see all the music tones like There's Yossi.
Yossi! He's so kind.
So congratulations to Yossi in the Simple Kitchen. And you know when you do this, when you do the live, you see all the hearts.
Yes.
Now you got all the music when a polka plays.
Oh, I don't see that, which is really cool. Oh yeah,
Cool.
I'm seeing all the congratulations going up, but okay.
Okay, next thing is seeds. So Jared Ryden and Yossi is last. 84 people in the chat. 120 people actually watching. On Mother's Day. That's awesome.
Right?
Amy Long to Crochet.
Amy Long to Crochet. That's right.
So congratulations, Amy Long to Crochet. You won seeds.
I'm sorry, I got some people that are trying to help me. And
it's all good. It's all good. It's Mother's Day.
It is Mother's Day. And so I'm trying to multitask this poor brain. Let's go. Woohoo!
LG Homestead.
LG Homestead. And
look, I got to shuffle. I'm getting told to shuffle. Shuffle, okay. Shuffle.
Now I am typing LG Homestead in the chat to see if they are here.
They were here earlier in the chat. They were helping mod and everything. So
yeah, they were. You know what? I just tapped my phone, so I can't tell anyway. I just can't help you at all. Okay, must be coming up.
Valerie Torelli. Now, Valerie's a Joseph's Journey member. She just signed up 4 days ago. So she automatically wins seeds.
Wonderful.
So, okay, now the mystery box. Let me show you this. Hold on, let me get off of here.
Well, the perks for Joey's being in your club is just being in your club, being able to support you. But that's wonderful that there's even extra. Oh my gracious.
So that's the mystery box. And I have one for like this for next week too.
The whole box?
The whole box. Whole box.
Wow.
So the mystery box. So
I knew a few people who would like that.
Let me just check my email quick because I don't see Daigo Crochet anywhere. Let me see. Not there.
Okay.
She says there was a chance that she couldn't make it. So,
well, you never know.
So might have Granny D all by herself.
Bless her heart. That would be fun.
Okay, so let me get back to the wheel. Okay, this is for the mystery box. And if you don't want the mystery box, you give it away or you can choose seeds. Good luck, everyone. Good luck. Who's going to be the winner of the mystery box? Nancy McDonald.
Nancy McDonald. Woohoo! Congratulations. Nice shirt. Yeah, I know. It is a nice shirt, y'all. Woohoo! I wore it especially for this occasion.
Oh, thank you so much for doing that. And, I have other shirts, but I have no idea what happened to them. I have no idea. I know I'm missing sizes. Like I don't have extra large, but I have like tons of medium and some, it's like, where are they? I got to do my inventory. And the person that had making them, he passed away.
Oh.
So it's like, where do I go? Where do I go?
Right. Well, you had your stock right there in your home, correct?
Yes. Yep.
I mean, it's not like I have like Teesprings or whatever. So
Oh, Amy Long Through Crochet is here. Yay! Thanks.
yay!
So the other three winners was Gary Gryden, Yossi, and LG Homestead.
Oh, LG.
I had to turn it a little bit, make sense of my terrible handwriting.
I'm scribbling like a mad woman over here.
Okay, well, welcome in, Granny D. So look at us. She's here. Whoop, whoop.
Woo! Howdy! It ain't Minnie Pearl, but it's Granny D.
There you go.
Yarnologist. Right in.
I love that.
I'm so glad we got another North Carolinian gal up on the screen.
Isn't that great? What part of North Carolina are you from, Granny D?
I'm about an hour north of Charlotte.
Okay. All right.
I'm in the middle, Piedmont.
Yeah, you're not that far. I'm in
Where
Eastern.
are you?
I'm in Northeastern, about an hour south of Virginia.
Oh.
And an hour in from the Outer Banks.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be nice. I love the beach.
Yeah.
I'm closer to the mountains than about 2.5 hours, 3 to Asheville.
Gotcha.
Like 4 to the beach.
I gotcha. All right.
I like
girls.
to stick my toes in the sand. Yeah. You know what I got for Mama's Day?
What did you get?
What?
I get to keep my grandkitty for over 2 weeks while my daughter and her fiance go to Japan.
Oh.
I love him though. Look. That was one time when I stayed at their house with him and he got in my bag when I was trying to pack to go home. That's Nikolai.
Oh.
He's a Turkish Angora. He's a bougie kitty cat.
Oh, he is a bougie kitty.
They're very bougie.
He was just right here. Of course, he checked out when I started talking.
Kitty cats are a little less, they don't transport as well. Are you going to go to their
My daughter's arm was all scratched up.
I bet. Is
yesterday.
The kitty coming to your house?
Yeah, he's here.
Oh.
And I'm eating Pockies, which is a Japanese snack, I think, or Asian anyway. But my daughter has instructions to bring me back some Japanese yarn of some sort.
Ooh, fun.
Hey, this is some bougie Noro yarn.
Yeah, look at that.
It ain't cheap. By any means, but look.
It looks pretty though. Oh, beautiful.
It's working out pretty.
Beautiful.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, I'm glad Joe asked me to be on. I love Joe. He cracks me up with these. The first time I ever saw one of his little things where he has people singing and dancing and stuff, Lord, he had me over here singing opera. And I'm like, how the heck did that eat my mouth? What is that?
That's right.
And he had me with a gang on Cinco de Mayo. Now I tell him, anytime you need a face to put on one of those, I volunteer because it cracks me up.
Oh, yeah. I love them. I laugh all the time.
I'm as low tech as you can get. This is what I do for super chats. I don't have Well, actually, somebody sent me one. I just got a bougie laptop. I was on a Chromebook for 3 years, and my son-in-law got me that. But, I taught for ages, and I was good at the, Apple stuff. Teachers actually paid me to update we all had a little page where it was kind of like a newsletter, but weekly we'd have to update it with, the skills that we were teaching and homework stuff or just whatever. Yeah, teachers would hand me a 20 for doing hardly anything to their page.
On Apple products.
Yeah.
That's great. So what
But
kind
heck now, yeah, and when I left, I had just gotten my smart board. I'd only had it for a little while, but girl, who'd ever thought teaching 4th grade would drive me to drink? But it sure did. One glass of wine turned into dancing on the bars.
Oh my gracious.
I ain't lying. Of course, I was going through the Coliseum at the time, like Mama used to say, going through the change, and I was doing some crazy stuff.
Oh my goodness.
I was not making the best decisions. We'll just say that.
Well, as long as we learn from them, it's all good.
The good Lord had a good talking to me, so we good now.
I bet it was fun though.
Oh my gosh, wasn't it? Parts of it were lots of fun, but parts I don't remember and heard about later, that wasn't so cool.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, you wake
it's
up.
Memories, though. It's memories forever.
But she doesn't remember. She doesn't remember, though, Coach. She doesn't remember.
I did some crazy
Now I have
stuff.
major short-term memory problems, but hey, I'm 64. But people, I don't feel old.
No.
I'm crippled. I have major arthritis and all kinds of junk going on with my feet. But you know, a lot of people a lot younger than I do have. At least I have feet, right?
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, I'm a glass half full kind of gal, or I try to be. What's the point of being all?
That's right.
Negative.
Well, good for you. So. We're the same age. That's all.
Are we? Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, what were the Beatles thinking? Will you still feed me? Will you still need me? Hey, my teeth are store-bought, but I can eat, you know.
There you go. I hadn't gotten the store-bought ones yet, but I'm sure they're probably not far
the
away.
medicine ruined my teeth. I did have good chompers before then, but I call them store-bought teethers.
So, Granny D, tell me when you started crocheting, knitting. What is your favorite thing to do?
Well, knitting, you know, my channel name is Knit, Pearl, and Squirrel.
Okay.
I told Lisa Ladybird, she does this little thing where she gives you time to sell yourself on her channel, a little moment. So
yeah,
she got so tickled last time I did that. I put, when I went live and stuff, and then I put, and I'm an unmedicated ADD. Okay, Squirrel is not in my channel name for nothing. I'll do stuff like, hey, y'all, and I call my people, my subscribers, my squirrels, hey, squirrels, I saw, and then somebody will say something, and I never get back to the hey, y'all, that I was so excited. And I'm telling my people when I watch the replay, which I do to see what all chat I missed, but also how many times I screwed up like that. And I'm telling them to say, y'all get me back on track. But then when they do, by that time I've forgotten what it was. No matter how excited I was. But so I learned how to knit at 9 years old through 4-H club.
Okay.
I live in a teeny tiny town of 600 people, plus or minus. One caution light, 3 churches. It's like Mayberry, but smaller.
600. Wow. I thought we were small.
Mm-hmm. And
wow.
Oh Lord. The train left the station again.
Well, you're talking about
we had an local yarn store, even that small. Well, it's been gone forever, but we learned there. And of course, I was all excited. And I was a kid that I was very active. I was running around and I was doing stuff outside and all. Mama was one, like a lot of our mamas back then, that get out of the house. Don't come back in till, whatever, the street light comes on.
Right.
Or it's lunchtime or whatever. So me and my big brother, we were outside, or my cousins and stuff. But I did enjoy learning how, but I was always one, if I was sitting, I had to be doing something with my hands. So I did cross stitch for a long time. And my grandmother tried to show me how to crochet, but she just crocheted slippers a lot. I mean, every Christmas we knew we were getting slippers, but we loved them. But she could sew like nobody's business. And Grandma was funny. Joe, we got to teach Joe how to say mama. You're a mama, right?
I can't say it.
You can,
Joe.
Mama. Mama.
Look.
Ma.
You say law, don't you? Law.
There you go.
Mal.
Mal.
Like law.
Mal.
Like lawyer, law.
Mal.
It's a New Jersey thing, I reckon.
Oh, that's terrible.
But she's mama. I'm granny.
Okay.
Yeah. My mother was a mama.
A mama. Yeah.
Yeah. But crochet, I didn't pick crochet up until right before I started my channel in 2019, I guess it was.
Okay.
But I was on YouTube watching everybody else for the longest time.
Oh,
Joe does make his rounds. Now I know he's got prepping community, farming community, but he does his homework with us yarny peeps.
And he is welcome everywhere he goes.
Well, why not? He's marvelous.
I'm telling you what, from the crochet to the gardening to the prep.
He's so much fun. Just a good guy.
And Joe group to the everything that there is, the grilling, the peppers, the big seed companies, everyone just.
Yeah, that guy from Jamaica was really good, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, from Baker's Creek Seeds. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I like my men dark like that too and young, so he wasn't hard to look at. Oh, mercy.
Oh, good.
When I started talking cucumber, I had to just get my mind out.
Lord, woman, we are not the same 64. I can tell you.
I just talk about it. I don't want it ever again in my life. I ain't got a man, don't want one. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt and all that stuff. So.
I'm choking up. I'm going to have to mute myself.
Unless the Lord drops Pappy in my lap. And his equipment needs to be broken because we ain't going there. That's closed. It's done. It's dusty down there. Sorry, Joe. Getting off that subject, I love the Jersey Shore stuff, the videos you've been doing. Oh, like I say, I'm a beach gal and I've never been up north to the beaches, so I've been loving that. And when you went in and played at the arcade, that was cool.
I didn't expect that because I didn't walk that far. Say, let me walk back and try this over again. Let me see what's open, what's closed.
Right.
It was
cool. And I was hoping I'd see some skee ball because that was what I love to do. And even when we go to Gatlinburg yearly in the summer when it's hot as Hades. Mm-hmm. But we go to this place called Fanny Farkle's, which is an arcade just right downtown Gatlinburg. And of course, we go to Pigeon Forge and do all that stuff too. But I go for the skee ball, the old stuff. When we went to the beach, we always went to Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. And I had family, cousins, and an aunt and uncle down there, and they owned some apartments. And I guess they just kept it was like an upstairs, downstairs 4-unit, and it was right across from their house. And I imagine they just kept one unit for when family would come and stuff, because we would, and we stayed a whole 4 days. But
we're back.
Thinking back, and Daddy was the only one working and stuff. It's a wonder we got to even do that at all. So,
well, that's wonderful and marvelous.
Nothing but the Lord. That's how we got by.
There you go. That's exactly right.
Daddy was a very, very godly man.
Okay.
He gave Mom a heck. He'd be back listening to preaching and his end of the house, and Mama be with the credit card watching QVC. They made it work, but they you know, they
It's
weren't
all right.
lovey-dovey, not the least bit.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have a representative on both sides in the house. So, well, girl, I think you and I could have a lot of fun. I would have to make sure that I'm gonna have to have my asthma inhaler and a big glass of water because I know I'm gonna be laughing and choking.
Well, I mean, that's good. If I can make somebody giggle, I'm happy about it.
It would be great. We would have fun.
Yeah.
So, Joe,
Granny D, when I made that video, I didn't know. I wasn't expecting to play. I thought everything was you got to pay by credit card, then you get a slip, then you put it in, because that's how a lot of the new games are.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden I seen $1 slot. I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
This is something I recognize. Wait a minute.
Let's play. I haven't done this in a long, long time.
Yeah, when we go to that one place, you buy tokens.
Right, tokens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I didn't expect. I'll hold the camera, bend down a little bit, try to focus.
I could hear you were surprised.
I got better at the end. And then we went to the skee ball. When I did the skee ball, I was like, oh my God, just right there. I didn't have to put money in. It was right there for me. I was ready to go.
Yeah, and I think you saw a credit of or something. Of course, what could you do with that? But
yeah, that was pretty cool. Somebody just left them there. It was like
Yarn Barf's here. That's Christy.
Yeah.
Talk about funny. I am nothing compared to that woman right there. Yarn Barf. Joe.
Yeah. Yep.
You got to get her up here.
She was here 2 weeks ago.
Was she?
Yep.
I get that.
She's originally from New Jersey.
That's right.
She lives about 5-10 minutes away from Arsenic and Edison. Arsenic and Edison. She lived in Linden.
Now she's in North Carolina.
Yep. Well, everybody from New Jersey is kind of moving out.
Come to North Carolina. It's pretty.
Yeah, it is nice here.
We get all 4 seasons. And
yeah,
Joe hadn't had rain. I've been kind of moldy over here. We've had a lot of rain.
Yeah, we hadn't had much on the eastern, northeastern section.
We've had
a couple of good rains. It hadn't been dry or bad or anything. But I can tell you what,
the mosquitoes start coming out.
Yeah, the mosquitoes.
We grow big mosquitoes down.
Oh my gosh, they will pick you up and take you right away.
But my eldest daughter, lived in New Orleans, I called it New Orleans, for 10 years, and they're cockroaches. You could ride on those suckers. Saddle them up. They call them palmetto bugs. I said, shit.
Yeah.
That's a damn roach if I ever saw one.
Giant size. Yeah. Oh, oof. Yeah.
I know. I can't take that. And now they're in Estero, Florida, still 13 hours away from Granny. And those are they've got my only 2 grandkids, 2 granddaughters. But when we go to Gatlinburg, they come here. We all go to, it's me, my brother, my big brother, and he finances the whole thing. It's his. He loves to go and he does that. I just provide the old 20-year-old van. I believe this is going to be her last trip. She might be limping.
Oh, that's lovely.
But yeah, my 2 daughters and 2 granddaughters will be coming with us too.
Great.
So we do that every year.
All right.
So Granny D, tell her before we go, tell everybody what time you go on.
Okay,
what's your show
come to
like?
Granny's. Come see Granny and the squirrels, who are look what one of my subscribers made for me.
Oh,
is that not amazing?
That's adorable.
This is knitted. Look at that.
Oh.
When she gets cold, she can just do that.
That's so cute.
Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
And then I got this. This is grape nuts.
Grape nuts.
He comes out when I show the recommended daily allowance of fibers. I have to keep my squirrels regular. But we're talking about this kind of fiber,
Yeah. Oh my God.
But I go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5 Eastern.
5
and I'm
a.m.
just on for an hour.
p.m.
Yeah.
p.m. Okay.
Poor girl,
I
I
thought
ain't
you
up
meant,
that
yeah,
early.
I was going, what?
PM.
Okay.
And then Saturdays and Sundays for my UK folks, I come on 2 hours earlier, so at 3 bells on Saturday and Sunday. And on Wednesdays and Sundays, I do a little giveaway. It's a mystery box of yarn. Sometimes I'll throw in a bougie furls hook. Sometimes it might be stickers and other jazz. Who knows?
Yeah. That's wonderful.
That's me in a nutshell.
Let me show your site, your YouTube page.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me show this. Let me see where it is. Here it is.
But I have some wonderful folks, and I've gotten to know a lot of lovely, lovely folks. I
Did it
was
come up on
so
your?
sick in March. I ended up spending a night in the ER, and I never did find out what was really wrong with me. But I had a gal that I've never met in my life, Dory. Dory did it. She lives up there in Norfolk, Virginia, but she came down and she called me and kept calling me while I was on the couch, head hanging in the trash can, yakking.
Oh my goodness.
And I wasn't able to go live forever, so everybody was worried about. That's people worry about you, and they're concerned. I was so sick, and it was about all I could do to muster up to put on my community page. I'm sick, y'all won't be on.
Right.
Well, Dory kept, and several people called, but I didn't answer, and she kept calling. And finally, I said, Dory, I'm so, And
yeah.
she said, do you want me to come? And I'm like, no, I don't want to inconvenience somebody that, and lives that far away. And
sure.
She kept asking, but you know what? I had been praying to get better or for help or something. So the Lord sent Dory. So finally I said yes, and she came. Stayed with me 13 days.
Wow.
And she's coming back. Our little tiny town of Faith does a big patriotic 4th of July, and we have a week-long fair preceding it. It kicks off with a street dance on Main Street. It's old-timey, and the JCs and the auxiliary and the churches all get together and man the food booths, your barbecue and your cheer wine and all that is good. So Dory's coming and hanging out. We're going to do that.
How fun.
Yeah. So but these folks are just wonderful that are my squirrels, and I see them, we run into each other at everybody's channel. Lisa Ladybird.
Oh, she lives in Norfolk. Wait a minute. Dory lives in Norfolk. That's not that's not
Ola Joe, the crocheting sailor, and she's military too, ex-military.
Yep.
Have you had her?
I haven't had her on, but that's the person I'm emailing next.
She'd be a good one. She was Navy for years, and her husband also. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She's the channel I was gonna see if she wants to go on next, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And she's awesome too.
And I think Margie was here, and Margie was in the military too.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you for that one. I didn't know about Margie with the military.
Margie's a sweetheart. Yeah, she sure is.
So great. This is Granny D, and
She was Christy, an angel. Yes, Dory did it. She often does.
Dory did it.
She does good stuff for folks.
Here, this is Granny.
program and all that is.
It's Jib Jab.
Jib Jab.
Yeah, so cute. So cute.
No, that was Crystal on the bar. The crazy, what is she? Crazy chicken and something yarn lady. I always
Crystal, yarny chicken, and crazy cat lady.
That's it.
That's
Right.
it.
Now, if you can say that, you can, by God, say Mama. Good law.
Mama.
You got
Crystal,
it.
yarny chicken, and crazy cat lady.
Mom. Like a cat. Mom.
Mama.
It rhymes with law and paw.
Yeah,
Cat
there you
paw.
go. You're just about to get him.
Well, Granny D, thank you so much for coming on. This was awesome. I really appreciate it. And
sorry, I talk a lot.
No, that was great. I wish I could go on for a lot longer, but it's already 9:20. People are like, oh man, that was.
I'm 64. I got to go to bed soon, right, Ann?
Absolutely.
Will you still feed me? Will you still?
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I'd love to have you again.
I just love you fine.
Love
and
you
good to meet you,
fine.
Ann.
That's great. Nice to meet you too,
And howdy, and everybody in the chat, have a wonderful night, and hope you had a lovely Mother's Day to all you mothers out there.
Yes. It's been so wonderful seeing everybody in the chat. Thank you all.
Well, thank you so much.
Come see me. Come visit. Y'all come. Hey, be sweet. Don't be ugly. That's my line.
Okay, good.
Do I hit the button or are you getting
No,
rid
I'm going
of
to hit
it?
it. Well, thank you so much, Granny D. I appreciate it. Take care. Wasn't that awesome? Isn't she amazing?
She is hilarious. Oh my gosh. We could be fast friends. But when I said I would need a glass of water and an inhaler to be able to be in her company, one of the other girls said, and don't forget Depends. That's the truth.
So we're gonna end out. We're gonna end out the night. We're gonna give a princess crochet kit.
Oh.
Then we're going back to the goat because nobody claimed the goat.
Okay.
Then 3 things of seeds, and that's it. So we're doing a little overtime here, but so
well, it happens.
I tell you what, I can't say goodbye. I cannot say goodbye to people. I have never been able to say goodbye, and
it's terrible.
It was really a bad thing. I can say hi. I can't say goodbye.
Well, I always say it's like hanging up from your boyfriend's phone call. No, you say bye first. No, you say bye. No, you hang up.
Okay, let's get this going quick. It's already 9:20. Oh my
God.
God.
We've been rocking it there, Joe.
I'm rocking it. Okay, let's do this quick. Disney Princess.
Here we go. Disney Princess.
And Nancy McDonald claimed the prize for the mystery box for it, by the way. So she claimed it. So Nancy McDonald, congratulations. I noticed her email came in right away. So Disney Princess. Idaho Garden Girl. She is a Joseph's Journey member. She usually chooses seeds. So we'll see what she's gonna say. She's probably gonna want seeds, so that's what I'll probably give her. But let's move on. Let's see if Idaho Garden Girl's still here. She's been a long time supporter of the channel. Long. So this is for the goat. The goat. The goat.
We have some garden goats.
Judy Hawk.
Judy Hawk. Congratulations, Judy. You won the goat. So speak up and let's see what we can do to get you
and
that.
Last 3 things seeds.
Okay.
She's here, so I know. Judy Hawk is here. Find out if she wants it. I'm sorry about pronouncing names here. Like vegetables.
Yes.
Okay, Idaho Garden Girl is going to do seeds.
Okay. And we're waiting for Judy Hawk. And Adventures with an Outdoor Eagle. With Outdoor Eagle. Adventures with Outdoor Eagle. Congratulations. And they won seeds, correct?
Yes.
ADVEN.
Okay, here we go. Next thing is seeds. Seeds.
Yay! Miss Vanessa, my Renaissance grandma. Yay!
She has a great channel.
She does. She's
a lot
so
of people,
smart. I'm sorry.
A lot of people don't know these channels down south that you're involved with because everybody has their different groups.
Yes.
But I absolutely love like Broke Farmer and everybody down there. It's like I love it. I absolutely love it because everybody gardens differently. Everybody does their things differently. And my Renaissance grandma,
family.
what a hum.
Oh gosh, I hope she's
soil
in here.
family.
Yeah, my soil family. She's been in here for a long time, but she's my age or so, and maybe with a few weeks added to it, and she may have already moved on because she's been in here, like I said, for a really long time.
Last one there tonight. I don't see Judy Hawk.
No.
Well, prizes will go on to next week.
Adventures with Outdoor Eagle is here.
There it is. I'm here. So you got
Kale's Crochet Corner. Congratulations.
Okay, Outdoor Eagles here. You won seeds. So you're going to get a Baker's Creek seed. Just let me know what kind of seed you want. You want it from Baker's Creek. Just say tomato, because I don't know what I have in store for Baker's Creek.
Excuse me.
I just got an email. I just wanted like, oh, okay.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, to let you know, the winner's email coach, and I need to do the same. I tell you what I do. When I win, I go ahead and email you like right away and say, hey, I won such and such, and here's my address, buddy.
So congratulations with Adventures with Outdoor Eagle. You're in the chat. Just email me. Just a seed, a variety of seed, peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers, watermelons, squash. Just give me a clue, and it's all a surprise. What's going to come in? That's all.
Yep. Garden State Gardener at yahoo.com is the email. Garden State Gardener at yahoo.com. I'm sorry I interrupted.
And thank you for all the mods and everybody helping out and make this channel safe and where it's at. I'm so grateful for what you guys do to help, because you're not just helping me out, you're helping the community.
Yes.
And everybody's involved. Everybody's doing something.
Yes.
You're here for 2.5 hours. Sometimes you just want to go by the TV and watch. Sometimes you're on a computer. It's pretty hard to just look at a computer on a desk and watch it,
Yes,
Sometimes you're on a, outside.
Yeah.
I mean, I had people watching in dinner, going out to dinner, watching my channel. And I'm so thankful for all the support you guys give me. Super chats or just watching or memberships. Every little thing helps. And thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate everything.
It's been such an honor. And I told everybody that was going on. I said, okay, y'all, I love you to death, but from 7 to 9, actually 6:30, because I want to be ready by 6:30. With my buddy, because this is really, really important to me and to him. So I just felt like it was such an honor to be able to be invited on here. Thank you.
Well, we paused the verse. There, you're back. You're back. It's weird when Stalls is like, oh, is that my end or your end, or where is it at?
Oh, it didn't stall on my end. I don't know. You never know.
I'm so grateful you came on. You are one of the nicest people on YouTube, and you show it. You don't just, you don't have to say a word. You glow it. What kind of person you are.
Thank
you.
Okay, now you're having a hard time saying goodbye. I love you.
You noticed that too. So take care, Ann. I appreciate it. And everybody in the chat, I'll see you next Sunday Fun Day. Right now, guests are TBA. And happy Mother's Day to all. To everybody, a good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Everybody.